Hi, friends. Welcome back. I am back with you today with a story called Those Shoes. It is by Mary Beth Bolts, and the pictures are by Noah Jones. Hmm. I have dreams about those shoes. Big black high tops, two white stripes. Grandma, I want them. There's no room for one around here, just need, Grandma says, and what you need are new boots for the winter. Brandon T comes to school in those shoes. He says he's the fastest runner now, not me. I was always the fastest before those shoes came along. Nate comes to school in those shoes. Antonio and I count how many times Nate goes to the bathroom. 7 times in one day, just so he can walk up and down the hall real slow. He must be showing his new shoes off. Next, Alan Jacoby and Terrence each get a pair. Do you notice what's happening? Do you ever feel left out? Then one day, in the middle of kickball, one of my shoes comes apart. Looks like you could use a new pair, Jeremy, Mr. Alfrey, the guidance counselor says. He brings out a box of shoes and other stuff he has for kids who needs things. He helps me find the only shoes that are my size, Velcro, like the ones my little cousin Marshall wears. They have an animal on them from a cartoon I don't think any kid has ever watched. I think the little animal's cute. He kind of looks like my dog Stella, but I understand he's at that age where he's too cool to be wearing those. I get it. When I come back to the classroom, Alan Jacoby takes one look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes and laughs. And so do Terrence, Brandon T, and everyone else. The only kid not laughing is Antonio Parker. At home, Grandma says, "How kind of Mr. Alfrey." I nod and turn my back. I'm not going to cry about any dumb shoes, but when I'm writing my spelling words later, every word looks like the word shoes, and my grip is so tight that on my pencil, I think it might burst. I hope you would be this friend and not those friends. In fact, I know you'll be this friend. You wouldn't laugh. On Saturday, Grandma says, "Let's check out those shoes you're wanting so much. I got a little bit of money set aside. Might be enough, you never know." Aw, Grandma. That's really nice. At the shoe store, Grandma turns those shoes over so she can check the price. When she sees it, she sits down heavy. "Maybe they wrote it down wrong," I say. Grandma shakes her head. It doesn't show the price, but they must be pretty expensive. Grandma about passed out. Then I remember the thrift shops. What if there's a rich kid who outgrew his or got two pair for Christmas and had to give one of them away? We ride the bus to the first thrift shop. Black cowboy boots, pink slippers, sandals, high heels, every kind of shoes except the ones I want. We ride the bus to the second thrift shop. Not a pair of those shoes in sight. Around the corner is the third thrift shop. I see something in the window. Ooh. What does he see in the window, I wonder? Black shoes with two white stripes, high tops, in perfect shape, $2.50. Those shoes! My heart is pounding hard as I take off my shoes and hitch up my baggy socks. How exciting! Grandma says. What size are they? I shove my foot into the first one, curling my toes to get my heel in. I don't know, but I think they fit. Do you think they fit? They look a little smaller than the Velcro ones. What do you think he's going to do? Grandma kneels on the floor and feels for my toes at the end of the shoe. Oh, Jeremy, she says, I can't spend good money on shoes that don't fit. I pull the other shoe on and try to walk around. They're okay, I say, holding my breath and praying that my toes will fall right off then and there. But my toes don't fall off. I buy them anyway with my own money, and I squeeze them on and limp to the bus stop. His poor feet. At home a few days later, Grandma puts a new pair of snow boots in my closet and doesn't say a word about my two big feet shuffling around in my two small shoes. Sometimes shoes stretch, I say. Grandma gives me a hug. I check every day, but those shoes don't stretch. I have to wear my Mr. Alfrey's to school instead. One day during math, I glance at Antonio's shoes. One of them is taped up, and his feet look smaller than mine. What's he gonna do? I'm glad he changed his shoes. Did you see in the last picture he had bandages all over his feet? Ouch. After school, I head to the park to think. Antonio is there, the only kid who didn't laugh at my Mr. Alfrey shoes. Oh, didn't show you this page yet. We shoot baskets. A loose piece of tape on Antonio's shoe smacks on the concrete every time he jumps. I think I'm not going to do it. We leap off the swings. I'm not going to do it. We race from one end of the playground to the other. I'm not going to do it, I say. Do what? Antonio says, breathing hard. See the piece of tape keeping his shoe together? Grandma calls me for supper and invites Antonio over too. After supper, he spies my shoes. How come you don't wear them? Antonio asks. I shrug. My hands are sweaty. I can feel him wishing those shoes were his. That night, I am awake for a long time thinking about Antonio. When morning comes, I try on my shoes one last time. Before I can change my mind, the shoes are in my coat. Snow is beginning to fall as I run across the street to Antonio's apartment. I put the shoes on his front door, push the doorbell, and run. You can't really see it on my camera, but our main character here, Jeremy, is smiling. At school, Antonio is smiling big in his brand new shoes. I feel happy when I look at his face and mad when I look at my Mr. Alfrey shoes. But later, when it's time for recess, something happens. Everywhere there's snow. Leave your shoes in the hall and change into your boots, the teacher announces. Leave your shoes in the hall. It's then I remember what I have in my backpack. New boots, new black boots that no kid had ever worn before. Standing in line to go to recess, Antonio leans forward and says, "Thanks." I smile and give him a nudge. Let's race. I believe that's the end. Yep. All right. Those shoes. I love this story. Um, really good talking about like needs versus wants. Sometimes we think wants are needs, but they aren't always. Um, and just I love how our main character Jeremy makes a good choice and does something for somebody kind that made him smile. And then in return, Jeremy was happy with his new friend at the end. So, love that story. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a great 4th of July. I hope those fireworks were fun, not scary. And I hope you're having a great day. It's a little rainy today, but maybe that rain will clear up and some sun will come out and you guys can go outside and enjoy the day. I hope you continue to have a happy summer. I'll see you tomorrow with another story, and after that, another story. And then I don't think I'll have time today. Maybe starting next week, I'll start recording The Wild Robot and The Wild Robot Escapes again. Kind of getting back into the swing of recording and uploading. So I hope you're enjoying these shorter picture books. So I'll see you next time and have a great day. Thanks for joining me. Bye.